So this video is a response to the death of Diego Zell. Very sad, unfortunate what happened to this young man. He seemed like a really nice guy. And his mother, you know, a multicultural family, I think half Mexican and half American, that came to the United States and seemed to be a very successful family. They integrated excellent, and then there's this tragedy struck their family where Diego, you know, a very kind of an average American kid who went to university, and he did some experimentation with drugs like alcohol and marijuana and whatever, you know, normal American stuff. And he was a smart kid. He got a job and everything, but apparently he had a psychotic episode, and enough so to compulse him into suicide in his own home in front of his own parents while they were desperately trying to stop him. He grabbed a knife from the kitchen counter and stabbed himself to death. And he was just obviously under tremendous pain, and also you could call it that's more than just pain. That's tremendous anxiety. That's just wanting to die because whatever you're feeling is inescapable, and it's got to be a mental source of fear, just pure mental fear. And I've experienced that. I think many people have. You know, it happens in life, and it can be triggered through many things. Marijuana does have the potential to trigger emotions, and and I get that, you know. But what I have to say, though, and this is in full respect for the family and loved ones, is that I think it's wrong to categorize this as it has been done in the video. You'll see the title of the video says cannabis-induced psychosis. And that's going way too far. It just can't be said like that. And I looked it up also. The organization who has posted that also does it. It seems like they're doing that. They're trying to find cases in you know, that fit this idea of cannabis-induced psychosis. So they're trying to basically propagate the idea that cannabis causes these types of things. And I think that's just wrong, because from what I saw in the story, he was not under the influence when he committed the crime. They're saying that because he did it, that because he had used marijuana, you know, prior or even recent, that that was enough to trigger. And they said that there was THC in his blood. But THC in your blood does not mean that you're under the influence. I mean, we all know that marijuana stays in your blood for months and you're not high. There could be some lingering effects, but hey, you know, you ingested that stuff. And so you have to expect that there might be some lingering effects. And, you know, obviously this kid had far greater problems than marijuana. And he was also, you know, abusing alcohol, and that we all know brings severe depression, the hangovers of alcohol and dehydration, and who knows, there's absolute carnage associated with alcohol. But yeah, we don't say the guy died from alcohol-induced rage or something, even though we all know it's absolutely true. But we just say, yeah, he made wrong decisions, not, you know, blaming the substance. And And also, I think it's very important not to let these types of things, because they will pop up, not to let these types of things block the forward movement of the marijuana legalization process. We need industry, you know, more money, more jobs. It's happier people, and more prosperity. And we are in this. This is a great thing for our nation to have the marijuana miracle. Just ask Thailand or Germany or Holland or Canada or any other country that legalized it. It's a boom for the economy, and it's immeasurable amounts of prosperity and happiness to families worldwide. And we as Americans have always been very good farmers and business people. We need marijuana right now desperately, and it's a freedom. And I think that let's grieve for people like Diego, and let's have compassion, but let's not be so fickle as to think that that's what it's caused by. Cheers, guys. Bye.